How's it going, everyone? I'm Nick, and you're listening to the Fresh Perspective Podcast. I am pleased to announce that the first internet-based free thought forum has been created. It is now in operation, meeting 100% online each week, giving freethinkers from around the world the chance to participate. The best part is that all of you listening right now and in the future are invited to join us. It is 100% free, and you may even have a chance to chat with me and other members of our executive board at the next meeting. But how can our in-person meetings translate to a purely digital space? What additional challenges can be expected? And how can you get involved? In this quick episode, I will answer all that and more. This program is brought to you by the contributing members of the Free Thought Initiative. We help those in need of an inclusive, supportive, and free-thinking community by hosting public discussions on moral philosophy, healthy living, and science, to improve the cohesion, health, and scientific literacy of our society. Everyone is welcome, regardless of personal background, religious belief, political leanings, etc., to participate in person in these open and civil discussions each week. To find a free thought forum meeting near you, to start your own local group, or to support this program through monthly donations, please visit freethoughtforum.org. While you're there, be sure to check out our online store, now with free thought t-shirts, mugs, and other smart-looking swag. Our new online group represents an experiment, but, to be honest, so does everything about the Free Thought Initiative. Can we really have meetings where people can say whatever they need to say without fear of judgment or being thrown out? Can we really bring strangers from every belief and background together and have a meaningful, civil, and productive conversation without it spinning into chaos? At the time of this recording, our organization has about 8 months of practical experience hosting over 50 public discussions, 2 festivals, and dozens of volunteer projects. Our programs and procedures have been well tested, and we have been prodded to tweak and improve them a great deal thanks to the feedback from our guests, members, and listeners like you. What started out as a bold social test has now grown into a force for good in our communities, and we are ready, once again, to expand. Before I jump into more information about our online meetings, I wanted to say that it has been a busy month. But our recent work has certainly paid off. Major improvements have been made to our organization, our website, and our content. Further details of these improvements can be found in our monthly newsletter, so feel free to sign up for it if you haven't already. I should also add, as a side note, that our regular upload schedule of about 1 episode per week will continue to be disrupted a bit, as the executive board focuses more of our time and resources on filing for a nonprofit status and tax exemption. We are seeking expert advice and are doing what we can to get it all right the first time. Actually, if you happen to have experience with this kind of paperwork, we would love to hear your suggestions. After all that is completed, we will go back to our regular upload schedule. As a show of our gratitude for your patience and flexibility, we have some really great episodes coming in the near future. And now back to the exciting news at hand. If you would like to give our first online group a try, all of the information about its upcoming meetings can be found on its official webpage, freethoughtforum.org/online-group. That's freethoughtforum.org/online-group. I'll be sure to add a link to it in the description below. You may also find this page by visiting our website and by clicking on the Groups and Events link at the top. This will bring you to a list of all of our local groups in operation, including one that may be meeting near you. Select the online group option to access its page, complete with an events calendar and instructions on how to participate. At the time of this recording, we are hosting these events on our Discord server for a couple of hours on Sunday evenings. However, any of those details may change in the future, so keep an eye on that official page. Ideally, each Free Thought Forum has between 5 and 15 regular free thinkers. If our online membership grows beyond that, then we may split the group into multiple groups. Whatever the case, it will be plainly stated on that page. Once you've made it to our meeting, be sure to listen to its voice channel. While some of you may want to participate with your microphone, others may prefer to simply listen along as they type in the group's text-based chat room. The online group will function much like our in-person groups. First-time visitors will be asked to fill out a welcome form, now a link to a digital form, and also be sent a link to a digital version of our guest pamphlet summarizing our organization's mission, the meeting schedule, rules, and so forth. A PDF file of the week's discussion primer is shared, much like how a printed copy would be shared. We will keep our opening and closing statements, the midway break, and so forth. Our online group will also host digital service projects. Members may be asked to download certain service apps, write and send encouraging messages, fill out surveys for a scientific study, donate some of their computer's processing power to SETI or similar causes, and more. Pretty soon, we will release an episode about our Harmony Festival, one of our 4 new secular annual celebrations centered on each of the 4 cardinal virtues of classical philosophy. Will such festivals also be celebrated online? Absolutely. Our board members and group leaders are a creative bunch, eager to translate everything awesome about our organization into their cyber equivalents. That eagerness, actually, is something they've had for some time. Even back in March of 2019, when our first experimental Free Thought Forum first assembled, our members have asked us to consider forming an online-only group that would meet weekly for open and civil discussions on digital platforms like Skype, Discord, or WhatsApp. I have to admit that I was, at first, hesitant to the idea. After all, we have had so many positive experiences talking face-to-face with whoever visited our meetings in Springville or Draper, Utah. All kinds of people came to meet others, share ideas, network, engage with multiple points of view, develop their critical thinking skills, learn, find friends, build a community, and more. Our venues in coffee shops and public parks were ideal for open discussion. Seeing friendly people face-to-face helped to ease the concerns of our first-time visitors and allowed them to really open up with their ideas. In addition, bringing food, snacks, and other items to share also helped to break the ice. Our in-person community service options are also abundant, and it is satisfying to see the impact you've been able to make with your own hands. So far, so good, but many of you remained persistent and continue to ask about the possibility of meeting online. Over time, I became aware of the following 5 strong arguments to host digital meetings. Are there others I've missed? If so, be sure to add them with your comments. 1. Functional similarity. Almost everything done in a physical meeting can be done in a virtual one, therefore, and from what we have tested thus far, it is reasonable to conclude that many of our practices and procedures in place for our physical meetings can be carried over. From a cynical perspective, I could say that online anonymity may bring out the worst in people. It is certainly true that many of us may behave worse as an avatar than we would as a person in public. Should our online discussions be subject to the assault of the overtly disruptive, we already have procedures in place to reroute the situation. Many of these procedures stem from our recently updated 5 rules for civil discourse. 1. Be respectful of each other's time by making your comments reasonably concise and by refraining from interruption. 2. Focus your comments on ideas, not people. 3. Recognize the authority of the appointed moderator. 4. Allow for amicable disagreement and a diversity of opinions. Your aim should not be to debate, convince, convert, or win the discussion. 5. Be prepared to explain the reasoning behind your ideas if asked. By participating in our events, all involved agree to abide by those rules. If you are not able or willing to follow these rules, then you are welcome to share your ideas outside of our meetings, such as in the comment sections of our social media pages. Our moderators are trained in de-escalation techniques and in other relevant skills. Should all our precautions and procedures fail, in the worst-case scenario, it is far easier to remove a would-be saboteur from a digital space than it is to remove them from a coffee shop or park. But that is the nuclear option. We would much rather give someone a chance to rant. Even if what they say is extremely unpopular or offensive, they are still welcome to participate as long as they are following our 5 rules. But if that rant repeatedly impedes on another guest's ability to say what they need to say, then that is a problem. The good news is that we already have a solution for it. But here is the deal. While we prepare for the worst, we still hope for the best. Our in-person discussions have been the epitome of civility. Once guests understand that we really want to hear what they have to say, it tends to bring out the best in them. I have found that it is only when we try to control the narrative that the rebellious side of people comes out. This is all to say that I have no doubt that many of the challenges we have overcome in person can likewise be overcome in cyberspace. As our organization continually improves, we have every reason to believe that our meetings will continue to be the ideal places for those types of discussions, no matter how or where they are held. 2. Anonymity. Just as anonymity can be seen as an obstacle, it is also important to consider that people tend to feel more comfortable sharing their true thoughts and opinions online. When we say that we want open and unfettered discussions, we really mean it. Anonymity can also be a force for great good, especially when we find ourselves unable to say what we need to say in our day-to-day lives. For example, if you happen to be someone who belongs to a community that discourages or criminalizes free thinking, free speech, and free assembly, then participating in our online group under the protection of anonymity may be your best option. Those who visit our in-person meetings are seen in public with others who may have dramatically different political, religious, and philosophical opinions. For some, such a bold action can be socially detrimental as one's family life is disrupted, employment is threatened, or one's standing with a church is called into question. If this describes you, I hope you are able to take a break from that situation in a healthy way. Furthermore, I hope that our online meetings can give you that place where you can really say what's on your mind. 3. Accessibility. While many of us are physically able to stand, walk, drive, and get ourselves to a coffee shop or park, some of us can't. Some of us are hindered by psychological conditions and anxieties that restrict us to our homes. Those with dire health conditions or advanced age should also be considered. Our meetings are for everyone. Literally everyone who is able and willing to follow our 5 rules for civil discourse is invited. If online meetings allow more people to join, then hosting them is already a major part of our mission. 4. Overcoming distance. Most of you listening are nowhere near a physical free thought forum. Our first 2 groups are in Utah, and even though we are growing quickly, it may take a lifetime before a local group holds its first meeting in your neighborhood. Of course, if you would like to accelerate that process, why not volunteer to become a group leader? Everything you need to start and run your group is on our website, and the board is happy to help you with each step along the way. With that said, we still want to bring our discussions on science, healthy living, and moral philosophy to as many people as possible. If you are miles away from where we meet, or if you are traveling, feel free to join us online. 5. Convenience. The fact that I can invite all of you listening through iTunes, YouTube, BitChute, our blog, and elsewhere to meet on an app at a certain time where our voices and text can be instantly made available to one another is a marvel of modern science and technology. To put this in context, when I was young, I would connect cans to the ends of a string to chat with my friends because our family members were using the house phones. I wrote physical notes to my crush in junior high because there was no time in the day when we could chat in person. I even folded those notes in awesome ways that made them lock into themselves. It was a ton of fun. I sent my first text as an adult. So you bet that participating in online meetings blows my mind. This technology is convenient, awesome, and provides a great platform that connects us. If some of you simply prefer online conversations to face-to-face interaction, I can't blame you at all. You are welcome to join us, too. If you have enjoyed this conversation or have learned something from it, please leave a like, subscribe, and share it with other open-minded people. All of those things really do make a big difference and help others find our group and our podcast. Thank you. That is all I have for you today, but the conversation continues across social media and in the comment sections below. Do you agree with today's message? Am I mistaken about some detail? What feedback or ideas do you have for this program or our organization? Feel free to share your perspective. A special shout out goes to Dale Thurber, PhD, Shane Whistler, Lance Freeman, and Brooke. Your monthly support makes this all possible. To check out our awesome donor rewards starting at $1 per month, please visit freethoughtforum.org/donate.